ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरों श्रीयुतपथकमलं श्रीगुरों वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगुणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगुणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च ये कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पति गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी शबानो देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्प्रपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचं मां प्रसूक्तां सञ्जीवयति अखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नां अन्यां च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणां नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं जयदं सुहृदो पङ्गोर्ममो वन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पादाम्बुजो राधामदनमोहनो तमादिदेवं करुणानिधानं तमालवर्णं सुहितावतारम् अपार संसार समुद्र सेतुं भजामहे भागवतस्वरूपं परमानन्दपाठाय प्रेमवर्षेक्षराय दे सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तु मे गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा हरि ओम सत्। So welcome all the devotees for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, seventh chapter, right? Seventh chapter, first, eighth chapter, first text, one onwards, eighth chapter.
Eighth canto, eighth chapter.
Eighth chapter. And the caption is Prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved. So this eighth chapter contains Kunti Stuti. It's very famous, the first Stuti in Srimad Bhagavatam. सुदौवाच अथ ते सम्प्रेतानां स्वानाम् उदकम् इच्छतां दातुं सकृष्णगङ्गायां पुरस्कृत्याय युस्त्रियाम् सुदौवाच अथ ते सम्परेतानां स्वानाम् उदकम् इच्छतां दातुं सकृष्णगङ्गायां परस्कृत्या वायुस्त्रिया। हरे कृष्णा। उमा
सूत उवाच अथ ते सम्परेतानां स्वानामुदगमिच्छतां दातुं सङ्कृष्णगङ्गायां पुरस्कृत्याय युस्त्रियः।
हरे कृष्णा। जीवेश्वरी माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण। सुदौवाच अदेते सम्भरतानां स्वानामुदकम् इच्छितं दातुं सङ्कृष्णगङ्गानां पुरा कृषिदयायुगस्त्रियः।
विवेक प्रभु।
अथ ते सम्परेतानां सनाम उदकम् इच्छितं दातुं संकृष्णगङ्गायां पुरस्कृत्य जजुस्त्रियः।
मेरे सुनीता माता जी, आप म्यूट में है। नहीं नहीं सुन रहा है।
We cannot hear you.
कोई बात नहीं, आप अब सही। हाँ,
उवाच अथ ते सम्प्रतानां स्वानं स्वानं स्वानामुदकम् इच्छतां दातुं स कृष्णा गंगायां पुरस्कृत्य यवु स्त्रिय।
वेरी गुड। वंदना माता जी।
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. अथ ते सम्परेतानां श्वानामुदकमिच्छतां दातुं शक्ता गङ्गायां पुरस्कृत्य ययुस्त्रिया।
Okay. Translation: Sudha Goswami said, thereafter the Pandavas, desiring to deliver water to the dead relatives who had decided, went to the Ganges with Draupadi. The ladies walked in front. Okay. So Sudha Goswami is telling to Shamlagadi rishis, Pandavas desiring to deliver water to the dead relatives who had decided, went to the Ganges with Draupadi. The ladies walked in front. So to date, it is a custom in Hindu society to go to the Ganges or any other sacred river to take bath when death occurs in the family. Each of the family members pours out a pot full of Ganges water for the departed soul and walks in a procession with the ladies in front. The Pandavas, who also followed the rules more than 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna being a cousin of the Pandavas, was also among the family members. So we all know what is the previous chapter? What was the previous chapter we have finished?
Dronacharya.
Yeah, Drona's son punished. Okay, why was he punished?
Killed the son of.
Yeah, killed the Pandavas. Okay. So we all know it is a rituals. It is a custom in our tradition to go to the Ganga and give oblations for the departed souls. So that's what is mentioned here. So to date, it is the custom in Hindu society to go to the Ganges or any other sacred river to take bath when death occurs in the family. Each of the family members pours out a pot full of Ganges water for the departed soul and walks in a procession with the ladies in the front. The Pandavas also followed the rules more than 5,000 years ago. Lord Krishna, being a cousin of the Pandavas, also was amongst the family members. So this is after somebody dies in the family, we do rituals, we go to the Ganges or any holy rivers. So that's what is mentioned here. ते निनियोदकं सर्वे विलप्या च वृषं पुनः अप्लुता हरिपदाब्जा राजापूता सरिजले ते निनियोदकं सर्वे विलप्या च वृषं पुनः आप्लुता हरिपादाब्जा राजापूता सरिजले। हरि बोल। जीवश्री माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
हरे
ते निनियोदकं सर्वे विलभ्य चादृशं पुनः अप्लुदा हरिपादं च रजपोदा सरिज्जला.
Okay. Uma.
हरे कृष्ण। ते नियोदकं सर्वे विलप्य च वृषं पुनः आप्लुता हरिपादाब्जा रजापूता सरिज्जले।
Sorry, Mandarama ji.
हरे कृष्ण। ते निनियोदिकं सर्वे विपल्य च वृषं पुनः आप्लुता हरिपादाब्ज रजापूत सरिज्जले।
Okay. Sunita Mata ji. अब अभी भी म्यूट में है।
ते निनियोदकं सर्वे विलप्य च वृषं पुनः आपुलुता हरिपादाब्ज रजपूत सरिजलले.
Haribol, Vivek Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Te niniyodokam sarve vilapya cha bhisham sprinu punaha apluda haripadabcha raja putra srija sharirajjale.
Haribol. Shri Hari Kirtan Prabhu, आप है उधर?
हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्ण भजी.
ते नित्योकम सर्व
विलप्य विलप्य
विलप्य विलप्य का प्रहतो पुचम अभ्यतो हरि
पादाब्ज.
पराजम राजतो पुत स्रजा जलय.
Okay, Haribol. Having lamented over them and sufficiently offered Ganges water, they bathe in the Ganges, whose water is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Did I miss the everything? There is no purport, right? Okay. So having lamented over them and sufficiently offered Ganges water, they bathe in the Ganges, whose water is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay. So this water is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. How is it? The Ganges water. Can anyone explain?
Ganges comes from the Lord's lotus feet.
Yeah, when he pierced the universal layers after the Vamana Avatara. Okay, so because of his piercing the universal layers, the Viraja, the Ganges water came from the spiritual world to the Brahmaloka, then Brahmaloka to Dhruvaloka, Dhruvaloka to moon planet. From moon planet, it came to where? Bhuloka. Okay, and who brought it?
Bhagirathi.
Bhagirathi. Yes, Bhagirathi. So it was so forceful, and nobody could hold that. So he requested Lord Shiva. So he held it on his jada. From this, the force, because of his power, the force, came down, and it came as actually it came in different names. Ganga, in different places, it was the same river known was as Ganga. What is that?
Alaknanda.
Alakananda and Bhagirathi, not Bhagirathi, Sita and what is that? Mandagini. Okay, 4 different names. Okay, in 4 different directions in the Jambudvipa. Okay, so it fell in different places of Jambudvipa. So what fell in the Bharatavarsha is known as Ganga. So Ganga, Alakananda, Bhagirathi, I think other one is Sita, something like that. So what fell in the Bharatavarsha is known as Ganges. And that was taken by Bhagiratha to the lower planets to deliver his ancestors. That's known as Bhagavati. So that is why it is mentioned that this is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay. So when Sri Krishna descended to this material world, he played in Ganges, in Yamuna. So many pastimes in Yamuna, in Vrindavan. So Ganges was very upset. Okay. Yamuna got chances, opportunities, because the Lord played. All the Rasalila, all the pastimes took place on the bank of Ganges. Not Ganges, Yamuna. But then the Ganges was not happy because she didn't get a chance. So that was also fulfilled. How it was fulfilled? her desire was also fulfilled. She also got a chance by the Supreme Lord to play on her banks or in her. How was it fulfilled?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Navadip, that is where Ganges flows. So on the bank of Ganges, so many pastimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. So she was also satisfied. Ke tatrasinam kuru padim Radharashram sahanujam Gandharim putra sokartam Pritham Krishnam cha madhavam Tatrasinam kuru patim Radharashram sahanujam Gandharim putra sokartam Pritham Krishnam cha madhava. Hare Krishna Ji, Vishnu Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Tatra sinam kuru padim Dhritarashtra sahanujam Gandharim putra shogartam Pridam Krishnam cha madhava.
Okay, Uma.
Hare Krishna. तत्रासीनं कुरुपतिं धृतराष्ट्रं सहानुजं गान्धारीं पुत्रशोकार्तां प्रतां कृष्णं च माधवः.
Well, just okay, translation would like to read Vivek Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
There sat the king of Kurus, Maharaja Yudhishthira, along with his younger brother and Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti, and Draupadi, all overwhelmed with the grief of Lord Krishna, and also there.
Very good. There sat the king of the Kurus, Maharaja Yudhishthira, along with his younger brothers and Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti, and Draupadi, all overwhelmed with grief. Lord Krishna was also there. The battle of Kurukshetra was fought between family members, and thus all affected persons were also family members like Maharaja Yudhishthira and brothers. Kunti, Draupadi, Subhadra, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and her daughters-in-law, etc. All the principal dead bodies were in some way or other related with each other, and therefore the family grief was combined. Lord Krishna was also one of them as the cousin of the Pandavas and nephew of Kunti, as well as brother of Subhadra, etc. The Lord therefore was equally sympathetic toward all of them and therefore began to pacify them. So this is not because of the Pandavas, this thing, I'm sorry. It is because all of them were killed where in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So all of them went for doing oblations or doing the rituals. So although I thought that it was because Drona son punished, so it is related to that, but it's not because of that. So this is because so many of their relatives, both Kauravas and Pandavas relatives, got killed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So it is just to give oblation to all of them, or as a ritual to do the ceremony, whatever ceremony was required. So this is regarding that. So the Lord therefore was equally sympathetic toward all of them, and therefore he began to pacify them befittingly. So all of them are present. Okay, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Yudhishthira Maharaj, every one of them, because they're all related at the end of the day, whether it is Kauravas or Pandavas. So originally all of them are Kauravas, but it is only because of family dispute Dhritarashtra considered them Pandavas and Kauravas. Okay, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the first sloka, Sanjaya Vacha. Okay, so there Dhritarashtra make a division of Kauravas and Pandavas. Actually, they're all Kauravas only, same family, Kuru family. But here he distinguished the 5 sons of Pandavas as Pandavas and his sons as Kauravas. So, Shantavyam Ashamunibhir Atabandhun Sucharpidan Bodeshu Kalasya Gatim Darshayanna Pratikriyam Shantavyam Ashamunibhir Atabandhun Sucharpidan Bhuteshu kalasya gatim darshayana pradikriyam. Hare Krishna. Okay, Vandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
शान्तयामाश मुनिभिर्हत बन्धुन् सान्वयामाश मुनिर्भिर्हत बन्धुश्चार्पितान् भूतेषु कालस्य गतिं दर्शयन् प्रतिक्रियाम्.
Okay, Sunita Mataji.
यामाश मुनि अभिर्हत बंधु सुचाप अर्पितान् भूतेषु कालस्य गतिं दर्शयत् प्रतिक्रियाम्.
Okay, and Sri Hari Prabhu, translation, please.
Citing the stringent laws of the Almighty and their reactions upon living beings, Lord Sri Krishna and the Munis began to pacify those who were shocked and affected.
Very
Hare
well.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Citing the stringent laws of the Almighty and their reactions upon living beings, Lord Sri Krishna and the Munis began to pacify those who were shocked and affected. When somebody departs in the family, the relatives and friends go and, console them because they are affected. So many years that particular member of the family's presence there with them, they were helping each other. So much affinity is there between such relatives and friends, isn't it? So because of that affection, when they departed, they were also shocked because now that person's presence will not be there. This is not one. So many of them. So many of them are their relatives. Apart from relatives, many others are also there. So all of them have their own friends and relatives. They will also get affected. So here it is mentioned about the Kauravas, families members. So everyone is being affected because of the departure from this celestial planet, who are very much close affinity towards each of them. The stringent laws of nature under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be altered by any living entity. So once we take birth, death is sure. We say it's as good as death. Okay. If we have taken birth, definitely there will be death also. But nobody can stop it. And that is the laws of nature. It cannot be altered. And not even a second we can extend. If we are destined to die at a particular moment, we will die. That is the law of nature. So this cannot be altered by any living entity. The living entities are eternally under the subjugation of the Almighty Lord. The Lord makes all the laws and orders, and these laws and orders are generally called dharma or religion. So what is dharma or religion? The laws and orders enunciated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Does he do this directly? No. He has entrusted, outsourced this to his external energies. There are many agents who works for him in this material world. For example, Lord Brahma is the secondary creator, Visarga. Okay, Durga is there. She's the superintendent of this material world. Okay, all the laws, rules, and regulations are under her, Maya Devi. So everybody is under the subjugation of the Almighty Lord through different agencies of Supreme Personality of God, of whom the external energy, Maya Devi, is the top. She is the top. Lord's own energy, who maintains this material world. She is the controller. So the Lord makes all the laws and orders, and these laws and orders are generally called dharma or religion. No one can create any religious formula. Bona fide religion is to abide by the orders of the Lord. So no living entity in this material world can create any new laws They can create their own civil laws, okay, for managing the state or province or country, whatever it is. But the material laws are beyond, above the state laws. The Lord's orders are clearly declared in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, everyone should follow him only or his orders, and that will make all happy, both materially and spiritually. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranita. That's what scriptures. Dharma is given by the Supreme Lord. Bhagavad pranita. It's not by anybody else. No mortal being can make any dharma, religion. So, and this dharma is clearly declared in the Bhagavad Gita. One has to follow. Only then he or she will be materially and spiritually happy. There is no other way. If you want to be a good citizen, if you want to be a happy person in this material world, one has to follow the codes of the material nature, the rules and regulations of the material. So these are all, there are many rules and regulations. So these are all given in our Shastras, especially in Bhagavad Gita, it is very clearly given. So as long as we are in the material world, only duty, our duty is to follow the orders of the Lord. And if by the grace of the Lord we are liberated from the clutches of the material world, then in our liberated stage also we can render transcendental service unto the Lord. So one should not think that after we get liberated from this material world, everything is over. No more service. How we are doing service in this material world? To please Supreme Lord Krishna, we have to continue the same service in the spiritual world also. Then we'll think, oh, it's boring. It's very difficult to serve the Supreme Lord, whether here or no. Here it is difficult. There it is not difficult. There will be in blissful condition. Here, why it is difficult? Why it is not difficult in the spiritual world? Why do you find it tough in this material world? What is the reason?
Maya Prabhu.
Yes, Maya. Because we consider ourselves as the body. We want to enjoy separately from Krishna. Okay? We don't consider Krishna as Supreme Personality of God. Each one of us think that I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, I am the master, I am the proprietor. So that is not our natural position, natural status. That's why we are suffering. So even if when we are told to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not out of willingness, we are forced because there is no other way. We are not independent. So that's why we are, struggling, or we are feeling, morose. Oh, why we have to serve him? Why not my senses? So reluctantly we are serving. Reluctantly. But when we get liberated from this material world, it's not so. We are happily serving because we know the real position is Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnara Nityadas. So when we know our real position, then we will be happily serving him, being part and parcel. So there will be no more depression. Oh, why I have to serve? So that will be blissful. So whether in the material world or in the spiritual world, our duty is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In our material stage, we can see neither ourselves nor the Lord for want of spiritual vision. But when we are liberated from material affection and are situated in our original spiritual form, we can see both ourselves and the Lord face to face. Mukti means to be reinstated in one's original spiritual status after giving up the material conception of life. Mukti means getting reinstated in our real, original, constitutional position, spiritual status. Therefore, human life is specifically meant for qualifying ourselves for spiritual liberty. So this human life facilitates us to go back home, back to God, to reinstate us in our actual position. That's called, and we will be able to qualify ourselves for our spiritual liberty. The spiritual liberty is that simply serving Supreme Personality of Godhead for His satisfaction, because we are His parts and parcels. Unfortunately, under the influence of illusory material energy, we accept this spot life of only a few years as a permanent existence and thus become illusioned by possessing so-called country, home, land, children, wife, community, wealth, etc., which are false representations created by Maya illusion. So it's a wonderful, statement Prabhupada gives it. Under the influence of illusory material energy, we accept this spot life. This spot life means this particular life which is for few years, maximum 100 years, especially in the age of Kali. In other ages, it may be higher. But here, maximum 100 years we can live. But in that 100 years also, we think our country, home, and children, wife, family, wealth as permanent and ours. Okay. We think that all of them are going to be with us for eternity. It's an illusion. Even when we go to the cremation, when somebody passes away from the family, we think that it will happen for others, not for us. After the cremation is over, we come back and we'll live just like as if nothing has happened, and we are going to be here forever. All others will go. So what is that sloga which Yudhishthira Maharaj quotes as the most surprising thing when Daksha asked? Anyone remembers? What is the most surprising thing in this world? Daksha, a Yaksha asked Yudhishthira.
Right, right.
So many questions. Yes, probably.
His answer was like, when people are dying, but nobody think that he will die. That is a
Yeah. Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti hayamanayam sheshastavaram icchanti kim asyaryam adaparam. Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti hayamanayam. Every moment people are going to Himalaya. Going to the court of Yama means they are departing from this material world. They are dying, in other words. Sheshastavaram icchanti. Those who are remaining here, they are thinking that they are going to be here eternally. So what more surprising thing is there? This is what Yudhishthira really, because we all know that we have to die one day. We will die also. But still, the way we make our plans and arrangements for a better life every day, we think that we are going to be here eternally. We never think that we will die one day. Father, mother, children, friends, relatives, everybody will die, but I will not die. That is how we are all trying to live in this material world. So that's most surprising. So that's what here it's also mentioned here. The so-called country, home, land, children, wife, community, whether it's a sort of false representation created by Maya. Okay, so and we are perplexed in this material world. All these relatives, be it mother, father, wife, husband, children, and to that extent, our country, our home, our property, these are all going to be mine only. And I will enjoy. These are all illusion. They are all real illusion. False representations created by Maya. So, and under the dictation of Maya, we fight with one another to protect these false possessions. By cultivating spiritual knowledge, we can realize that we have nothing to do with all this material paraphernalia. Why we have nothing to do? Because just like waves in the ocean comes and goes, comes together and get separated. Does the waves stay together forever? No. It comes together and it gets separated. Again comes together, gets separated. Not necessarily the same waves comes together. Isn't it? Similarly, we all come together, get separated, and with some other living entities will come together. It's not necessary that we will have the same atmas or souls or living entities as our relatives and friends in the next life. Now we are all together now. Okay, as father, mother, children, friends, relatives, whatever, countrymen, whatever it is. These are all together. But when we depart from here, we may get a different sets of parents, friends, relatives. We may take birth in different country, different planet, different universe. We don't know. So this we don't really try to understand this. So that is why I said that we have nothing to do with all this material paraphernalia. This is only for this lifetime. Next lifetime, we don't know who we'll have company with. We may take birth in Africa or America or Australia. Now we are in India, Indians, right? It's not necessary. That's what, earlier also I have mentioned that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Subhash Chandra Bose, that story. Subhash Chandra Bose met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj and requested, please send all your people, okay, in from the Mutt, Gaudiya Mutt, to fight for India against British. And please give all money that you have for that purpose, because we need money and we need manpower also to fight. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj said, I will not spare any of my people. I will not give a single penny. If my people are ready to come with you, they can go, no problem. But I will not spare. Why? Then he asked a question. Now that you are fighting for India, understand, because you want freedom. This freedom is temporary. Today, English is, ruling us. You get freedom. Tomorrow, somebody else will rule us. Day after tomorrow, somebody else will be conquered by some other country. There is no guarantee. So there is no end to it. Because you are so much aversion, you have so much aversion to the British, and you are so much in connection with the British people, you may end up taking birth in UK or British country. What will happen then? The same Subhash Chandra Bose, now fighting for British, will fight against India now. Next birth. Now you are an Indian, you are fighting against British. Next life, because of this close association with British people, there are chances that you will take birth in British country and you will fight against India. That really opened his eyes. Then he said, it's too late. No, if I knew all these things beforehand, I would have joined your mutt. Now I cannot go back. That's what he said. So this is the reality. It is not in our hand that next life, in what species will take birth, in which place we will take birth, we don't know. These are all temporary. So what is urgent? Deliverance from this material world, that is urgent. So somehow or other, make the people understand, whether you are an Indian or British or Chinese or Japanese, make them understand this is temporary. This is not our permanent home. All that this paraphernalia is not belonging to us. So we should try to go to our permanent place for eternal residence. So that is the highest goal of our life. These are all temporary. So that is the summary of pacifying measures for those affected by the reaction of stringent material laws, exhibited in the forms of birth, death, old age, and disease. Anyway, since we have come together for some period of time, we have certain responsibilities toward our relatives and friends. Definitely, we have affinity. Those person, with whom we stayed for, say, 50 years or 60 years or 100 years, were very nice with us. They helped me in my spiritual advancement. So we have certain obligations towards them that we have to carry out. That's what is being done here now. So, which are insoluble factors of material existence? The victims of war, namely the family members of the Kurus, were lamenting the problems of death. The Lord pacified them on the basis of knowledge. So, how did the Lord pacify them? Krishna pacified them Don't worry. If one is taken birth, they have to die also. They have to leave this body also. Every one of us will have to undergo this process of birth, death, old age, and disease. Don't worry. But let us pray that all of them will be delivered. They will not come back to this material world. So let us do our job of shraddha or rites, whatever it is, so that they will get elevated to the spiritual realm and they will not suffer again taking birth in this material world. So that is what the funeral rites and other rites after death one has to do. Okay, so text 5. Sadhayitva jada satro samrajyam kitaverhudam घातयित्वा सतो राज्ञा कचस्पर्शा क्षतायुषां साधयित्वा च दाशत्रो स्वराज्यं किदवैर्हृतं घातयित्वा शतो राज्ञा कचास्पर्शा क्षतायुषां. Okay, Jivashri Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sadhayitva jadashatro samrajyakidarvairhridam khadayitva sorajña kachasparsha shadayusha.
Very good. Roma.
Hare Krishna. Sadhayitva jatashatro swam rajyam kitavairbhritam ghadayitva sato rajña kachasparsha kshatayusha.
Very good. Vivek Prabhu, translation please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The clever Dronacharya and his party cunningly usurped the kingdom of Yudhishthira, who had no enemy. By the grace of the Lord, the recovery was executed, and the unscrupulous kings who joined with Duryodhana were killed by him. Others also died, their duration of life having decreased for their rough handling of the hair of Queen Draupadi.
Very good. The clever Duryodhana and his party cunningly usurped the kingdom of Yudhishthira, who had no enemy. By the grace of the Lord, the recovery was executed, and the unscrupulous kings who joined with the Duryodhana were killed by him. Others also died, their duration of life having decreased for their rough handling of the hair of Queen Draupadi. So Duryodhana, took away the kingdom of Yudhishthira. Actually, it was Yudhishthira's kingdom. The Pandavas were eligible for that. But, by cheating method, he usurped that. And what really, was the cause for the war is mentioned here. The rough handling of the hair of Queen Draupadi, the Vastraksha. That was the cause. Krishna wanted it. It has to happen. It happened. Okay. So that was the main reason for the war also. So in the glorious days or before the advent of the age of Kali, Brahmanas, the cows, the women, the children, and the old men were properly given protection. So before the advent of Kali Yuga, Brahmanas were protected, cows were protected, women and children, old men were all properly given protection. Nowadays, nobody is protected. No, none of these classes of people are protected. Isn't it? This is the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Brahmanas, no. The population of Brahmanas have decreased. The Brahmanas started behaving like Shudras. They started working, they started eating meat, they started all other nonsensical activities. They are not protected also, because of which they have to take up job like Shudras. Cows, slaughterhouses everywhere, no protection for cows. Women, they are exploited. Children and the old men were also exploited. No protection given in the present days. So the protection of the Brahmanas maintains the institution of Varna Ashrama and the most scientific culture for attainment of spiritual. The Brahmanas are required in this society. They are that intelligent class of people. Okay, only when they are pure, when they follow their dharma, then others can be protected. Because the head itself is not working properly. So how the rest of the body will work? The head is supposed to be the Brahmanas. The chest or arms supposed to be Kshatriyas, the ruling and management class. The stomach, the Vaishyas, Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijya. They're also exploitative. They're also, what do you call, not doing their dharma properly. And Chudras, ordered Chudras. So that head is not working properly. That's why the Varnashrama dharma is also not there. So the most scientific culture for attainment of spiritual life, the head should be proper. Intelligence should be there. There should be proper instructions, proper advice. It's not there now. The protection of cows maintains the most miraculous form of food, that is milk, for maintaining the finer tissues of the brain for understanding higher aims of life. So the cow milk is necessary for the development or maintaining of the finer tissues of the brain. Only then our intelligence will be sharp. Now it is, you will not find the cow protection, the slaughtering only. Even if you get milk, it's all Himsa milk. It will not improve the finer tissues of the brain, because it is not Ahimsa milk, it is Himsa milk. So for the sake of drinking milk, we can have it, but it's all contaminated. It's all contaminated. The protection of women maintains the chastity of society, by which we can get a good generation for peace, tranquility, and progress. So if women are not protected, the chastity is lost. Okay, there will be Varna Shankara, as we have studied in Bhagavad Gita. They will be misguided. There will be so many unwanted children, orphan children. So that is also gone. So there will be no peace, no good generation, no tranquility, and no progress in life. The protection of children gives the human form of life its best chance to prepare the way of liberty from material bondage. So today's children are tomorrow's adults. They have to rule the country, they have to manage everything. So if they are not given protection, definitely it will go hayway. Society, the future generation will be totally in chaos. Such protection of children begins from the very day of begetting a child by the purificatory process of Garbhadhana Samskara, the beginning of pure life. So before conceiving itself, there are certain samskaras we have to follow so that we'll get good children. So we are not doing any such samskaras. So instead of begetting good children, we will get, children with lots of nonsensical activities. They will not obey to the parents, nor will they become first-class citizens. So this is all problem in the life of the family, not only family, the society, the country, etc. So the protection of the old man gives them chance to prepare themselves for better life after that. So the old people also should be protected, because they are going to end their life. So when they end their life, definitely they have to get a better life, at least better family next life, or they should be liberated. If not liberated, at least better life. For that, they should be protected. They should be actually given instructions or guidance how to end their life, art of leaving the body. So art of leaving the body depends upon art of living. When we are alive, how we live depends how we live. So art of living is also required for art of living. So this complete outlook is based on factors leading to successful humanity as against the civilization of polished cats and dogs. Prabhupada puts it very nicely. The present civilization is of civilization of cats and dogs. No rules and regulation for cats and dogs. They can live any way, the way they want. So the human beings are also living like cats and dogs without following the rules and regulations, spiritual codes. The killing of the abomination innocent creatures is totally forbidden because even by insulting them, one loses one's duration of life. In the age of Kali, they are not properly protected, and therefore the duration of life of the present generation has shortened considerably. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that when the women become unchaste for want of proper protection, there are unwanted children called Varna Shankara. So if women are not protected, there will be Varna Shankara, there will be unwanted children, and they will become orphans. And orphans means nobody responsible, nobody accountable, and they will live whimsically. They will end up doing all sinful activities. Society will have to suffer for all these things. To insult a chaste woman means to bring about disaster in the duration of life. Dushasana, a brother of Duryodhana, insulted Draupadi, an ideal chaste lady, and therefore the miscreants died untimely. These are some of the stringent laws of the Lord mentioned above. Because of the insulting this chaste lady, Draupadi, all of the Kauravas had to pass or end their lives untimely. That is the stringent laws of the Lord mentioned above. Hare Krishna. So text 6 next week. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavati ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. Entai Go Premanande. Hare Hare Krishna.